Hi guys, how you all doing? Welcome to another episode of Hockey on the Spot with Brandon Barenfeld. I'm Brandon Barenfeld. Thank you for joining me. This is episode 107 of Hockey on the Spot, and hope you guys have had a good week. For today, we're gonna talk just a couple of updates on the Olympics. There will be another replacement for Team Russia's roster because one of their players, Kokarev, I believe, will not be on the roster for he has gotten hurt. We already saw Alexander Semin replace Sergei Soin, but now we're waiting for Russia to announce a replacement. The rumors are pointing to Alexander Burmistrov, former Winnipeg Jet, become the replacement. In the meanwhile, and also a newsletter came up as well, talking about how if there is a terrorist attack prior to the games, that there will be no Winter Olympics for hockey this year because there were a couple of recent attacks in another city in Russia, suicide bombings, and so now the concern is a possible terrorist attack in Sochi. So if that does happen, there will be no Olympics for hockey this year. So let's hope that doesn't happen. I definitely want to see all the countries go at it. It would definitely be a shame if there were no Olympics. Now let's get to the main topic at hand. And today we're going to talk about the two Stadium Series games that went on this weekend. There are a lot of games this weekend, but we're only going to talk about the Stadium Series games. Starting with the one on Saturday between the Anaheim Ducks and the Los Angeles Kings. Great game at Dodger Stadium. Kings the home team, and they would absolutely outplay the Ducks in front of their home fans, but it would be the Ducks that would come out on top by a final score of 3-0. By a final score of 3-0. So for the Ducks, it was the second of a home and home with the Kings. They had played at Honda Center the Thursday prior. The Ducks would go on to win that game 2-1 off a Patrick Maroon game-winning goal. Now the Kings, the home team for Dodger Stadium, and they could not impress the home crowd. For the Ducks, their goals, they would get on the board very quickly, just 2 minutes and 45 seconds into the game. Corey Perry would notch his 28th of the year from Ryan Getzlaf, his 35th assist of the year, and he is just continuing to have a phenomenal season. Just about 6 minutes later, Matt Bolesky, after some great cycling in the offensive zone, Matt Bolesky would crash the net and put the puck in and get his 5th of the year, assisted by Nick Bonino, his 24th assist, and Teemu Selanne, his 11th assist. So Selanne getting a point in the game, which was great. Both Anaheim goals would come from crashing the net. That was pretty much the theme for them in the opening period. But once they went up 2-0, it was pretty much all Kings after that. The Kings would outplay the Ducks. Jonas Hiller would absolutely stand on his head, making 36 saves on 36 shots, a shutout for him. He was just absolutely phenomenal. That includes a save he made via a penalty shot. The LA Kings would be rewarded a penalty shot, and nobody but their best player, Anze Kopitar. Kopitar would be the man to get the penalty shot after being hooked by Ben Lovejoy. Kopitar, normally being a guy known for faking out his opposing goaltender on a penalty shot, but this time he just seemed to look for the shot through the 5-hole, and Hiller was with it all the way. And that pretty much set the tone of the game. That pretty much set the tone of the game. Kings, the rest of the way, outshot the Ducks, but just could not get a puck past Jonas Hiller. That includes 20 shots in the opening period. The Ducks would end the game with 21 shots on goal, that including an empty net goal that would finish off the game just with the game almost done, Andrew Cogliano would notch his 17th of the year via an empty net goal, assisted by Kyle Palmieri, his 12th assist of the year. Palmieri was inserted back into the lineup after being a healthy scratch for a couple games. But again, Jonas Hiller was the real star of that game. With 36 saves on 36 shots. Another big story of that game was defenseman Mark Fistrick. 9 hits as he continues to be a human wrecking ball for the Anaheim Ducks. I think he's a guy who knows that he's probably going to be scratched from the lineup once Lucas Sbisa comes back. So he's trying to make the best of his opportunity and play the best he can physically. This is a hitter and a shutdown defenseman, and that's the way he wants to play. And that's the way he's been playing all season long for the Ducks. He's been a huge surprise after being such a disappointment for the Edmonton Oilers last season. And it makes you think about, how he's going to be scratched when Sbisa comes back. And a guy like Fistrick, with the way he's playing, could end up being good trade bait for a team like the Anaheim Ducks, who need a more veteran presence on their blue line or even up front, and more of a Stanley Cup veteran presence. So we'll see what happens. The trade freeze coming up February 8th, the one prior to the Olympics. That's one of 2 trade deadlines. The main trade deadline, of course, is March 5th. For the LA Kings, though, again, other than the Kopitar penalty shot, not much going on. Kopitar, though, had a great game. 5 shots on goal. Drew Doughty also had 5 shots on goal. Jeff Carter, game-leading 7 shots. He had a good game, honestly. And, of course, a fight in the game as expected. Tim Jackman and Kyle Clifford would go. Clifford would send him down, leaving Jackman with a bloody eye. Jonathan Quick, honestly, not his best performance, obviously, but he couldn't. It's not like he could have stopped either of those goals. Both came from crashing the net. But 18 saves on 20 shots, a .900 save percentage. So not a great night, a night that Quick's going to want to forget. So congrats to the Anaheim Ducks as they win their Stadium Series game against the Los Angeles Kings at Dodger Stadium. Of course, the Ducks will remember that one for a long time. Now we shift to yesterday's Stadium Series game at Yankee Stadium, the New York Rangers and the New Jersey Devils. The Devils have already won the season series against the Rangers, winning the first 3 meetings. Then, of course, you got this one, and they will have one more meeting at The Rock on March 22nd. So the Devils, by default, win the season series after winning 3. But it was important for the Rangers. They wanted to go out and win the big one. The mindset was, we play them 10 times, they'll win 9, but not this one, not tonight, as quoted by Herb Brooks. The Devils may have won the season series, but it's the Rangers coming out on top in the big one. 7-3, the final score. The Rangers absolutely dominating that game. But not in the very beginning. In the beginning, it was the Devils coming out on top. It was the Devils getting all the chances. For the Devils, also, Martin Brodeur would get the start in goal for the Stadium Series game. It would be his 100th career start against the New York Rangers. Jacob Josephson also inserted back into the lineup with Andrei Loktionov being a healthy scratch. It would be Josephson's first game in about a month, and he actually had a really solid game from what I saw. He didn't play bad. He was a plus player. One of the only players on the Devils that was a plus, one of only 3. So, but yeah, it was a solid game for him. But for the Devils overall, excellent first period for them. But not good enough to get the win, but we'll get to that in a minute. Devils come out on top just 5 minutes and 36 seconds into the game after a failed Rangers power play. Patrick Elias storms right out of the box and notches his 8th of the year. assisted by the former New York Ranger, Ryan Clough, his 10th assist of the year. And for Ryan Clough, it actually is his first game against the New York Rangers this season, his first game against his most recent former team. Then, 4 minutes later, Dominic Moore would score his 4th goal of the season to tie the game at 1, assisted by Anton Strawman and Brian Boyle. For Strawman, his 5th assist, and Boyle, his 8th. But it didn't take long after that for Patrick Elias to get on the board once again. On the power play, Patrick Elias would get his 2nd of the game and 9th of the year, assisted by Jaromir Jagr and Marek Zidlitsky. So the 3 Czech Republic Olympians for the New Jersey Devils, all contributing on this power play goal. All 3 of them will go to Sochi and represent the Czech Republic. For Elias, his 9th of the year again, and for Jagr, his 27th assist, and for Marek Zidlitsky, his 20th. Then later on, Travis Zajac would continue the flow for the Devils, notching his 8th of the year, assisted by Jaromir Jagr, his 22nd assist of the game and 28th assist of the year, and Mark Fane, his 3rd assist of the season. So the Devils now with a 3-1 lead to this point, but not even a minute later, Mark Stahl scores a fluky kind of goal, his 3rd of the season, assisted by Dominic Moore, his 6th assist of the season. So a great game for Dominic Moore, and actually a great game for the 4th line in general. It was the 4th line doing all the work for the Rangers in the first period. So at the end of the first period, 3-2 Devils. But luckily for the Rangers, that would not be the final score, and the bad news was for the Devils, after a great first period, the Rangers would just absolutely come out flying. 2 minutes and 48 seconds into the second period, Mats Zuccarello would come out on a break, odd man break, and tie the game up at 3 with his 14th of the year, assisted by John Moore, his 8th assist of the year, and Derek Brassard, his 19th assist of the year. Then, about 10 minutes later, less than 10 minutes later, it would be Mats Zuccarello again, scoring his 2nd of the game, 15th of the year, and the eventual game-winning goal, assisted by Derek Brassard, his 2nd assist of the game and 20th assist of the season, and Benoit Pouliot, his 11th assist of the year. But the Rangers weren't done there. Mats Zuccarello would, of course, go on to be the number 1 star. He had an unbelievable game, but the Rangers wouldn't stop there. The Rangers continue the magic. A minute later, Carl Hagelin comes up with that great speed of his and notches his 12th of the year, assisted by Ryan Callahan, his 11th assist, and Anton Strawman, his 2nd assist of the game and 6th assist of the year. And then, with under a minute to go in the second period, Rangers continue to dominate. It's Rick Nash again. For Rick Nash, he continues that goal-scoring streak he's on with his 18th of the year, assisted by Derek Stepan, his 25th assist of the season, and Mark Stahl, his 5th assist of the season. So that was a great time for But Rick Nash now, how about this? A 5-game goal-scoring streak in which he has scored 7 goals, which is unbelievable. Well, he also has 9 goals in his last 9 games. He had gone 2 games without a goal during this stretch, and also 11 goals in his last 11 games. So he is on quite a tear right now, Rick Nash. After not playing so well when coming back from that concussion, he took him a while to get going, but lately he's just gotten going. So he's been on his horse. He's been great. So great to see Rick Nash in full flight again. He is just a very exciting player to watch, and it's a shame when a player like him goes through these kinds of slumps, because he may not be the greatest player in the game, but he's very solid. He's great all around. And he does a little bit of everything, and those great hands are one of the best power forwards in the game. And his strength and hand-eye coordination is just makes him a very exciting player to watch. So there you have it. Third period now comes around. Marty Brodeur is done for the night. Corey Schneider takes his spot. He plays the entire third period. And Rangers, and it is Derek Stepan coming in on a break. Travis Zajac hooks him, and it's a penalty shot. So both Stadium Series games would see a penalty shot. In the Dodger Stadium game, again, we remember Anze Kopitar had a penalty shot for the Kings, and Jonas Hiller made the save. This time, Derek Stepan comes in on Corey Schneider on the penalty shot, and he would notch it in. So for Derek Stepan, his 10th goal of the season, obviously unassisted since it's a penalty shot. But just a great shot, no chance for Corey Schneider. That would be the only goal he would give up, as the Rangers would get just 4 more shots on goal in the game. But the final score of the game, New York Rangers 7, New Jersey Devils 3. But a great night all around. Anton Strawman 2 assists, Derek Brassard 2 assists, Mark Stahl a goal and an assist, Derek Stepan a goal and an assist, Dominic Moore a goal and an assist, and Matt Zuccarello 2 goals. So a lot of multi-point guys for the Rangers in this game. Brad Richards would lead the team with 5 shots on goal despite not getting a point. But not a lot of hitting, not a lot of shot blocking in this game. So there you go. But how about the play of Anton Strawman and Mark Stahl? Both of them +4s in the game. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Ryan McDonough and Dan Girardi would finish as the only minus players for the Rangers. For the New Jersey Devils, Patrick Elias would score 2 goals, and Jaromir Jagr would have 2 assists, so they were the only multi-point performers for the Devils. It was a very good game for those two, despite the loss, despite the blowout, I should say. Elias, of course, was the second star of the game, but Jagr continues his dominance of the Rangers, and despite the loss, a great honor for Jaromir Jagr as he passes his former teammate Mario Lemieux on the all-time assists list. He now has more career goals, assists, and points than his ex-teammate Mario Lemieux, which is a great honor considering how great Lemieux was. But for Jagr, a great honor for him despite the loss. Travis Zajac led the Devils with 4 shots on goal. And as far as plus-minus goes, Mark Fane, Jacob Josephson, and Jaromir Jagr would be the only plus players for the Devils at +1. So, great night for the New York Rangers. Congratulations. And how about the goalies? Henrik Lundqvist. For Lundqvist, again, took him a bit to get his game going, but once he got going, he played very well. He played very well, but 19 saves on 22 shots and .864 save percentage. Again, not the best performance, but okay. Now we go to the Devils goaltending. Marty Brodeur, a horrible night for him. One of the worst games probably ever from him. Just 15 saves on 21 shots, a .714 save percentage through 40 minutes. Corey Schneider comes in and makes 4 saves on 5 shots, and .800 save percentage through 20 minutes. That includes the penalty shot goal by Derek Stepan. So, great night all around for the New York Rangers as they go on to win game number 1 for what is for them a Yankee Stadium series. Devils, of course, done at Yankee Stadium. They were the home team for this one. Now Rangers back at it at Yankee Stadium Wednesday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, where they will take on the New York Islanders. The Islanders will be considered the home team for that game. And on a side note, I actually will be going to that game. So again, great win for the Rangers, and now they'll look to Wednesday's game at Yankee Stadium as they will look to sweep the Yankee Stadium series and hope to do it against the New York Islanders on Wednesday. And with that being said, folks, that'll do it for episode 107 of Hockey on the Spot. Thank you for joining me today. This has been Hockey on the Spot with Brandon Barenfeld. I'm Brandon Barenfeld. I will see you guys again next week. Thank you, and have a great day.